Please be sure to remember the subscription with the bell, because that's the only way you'll get an info when there's a new video. Over 90% of the viewers are not subscribers, and we have to change that urgently. So thank you very much at this point. And it will definitely be worth it, because in the middle of December we'll have something delicious again, and I'm sure that you're happy if you are one of the first to watch this video. So, subscribe with bells. I am glad. Thank you. Hi. Here is David from WATCHDAVID again. Good to have you back. I brought something really cool thing today, again from the house of TITONI, even if it was only a few weeks ago. It came out today, the Seascoper 300. Very fresh and tasty, here with black dial and blue bezel. Looks really good. In terms of price, we are moving into a really very attractive range. The Seascoper 600, which I would like to show here, it was already a real bargain for what you get there. But the Seascoper 300, I think it's going to get some of you who have said, man, just under 3,000 euros, that's a bit much for me. Yes, so I am pretty sure about that you'll take a closer look at the clock, and you should take a closer look at it too. Here is also a short the clasp. I also like to show you again from the front on the arm. Of course, it's much too big now. 42 mm diameter, 12.5 mm height, really wears very comfortably. And you see, we really have really airy, even for big wrists. 3 fingers are in. I am currently at 19.1 mm this morning diameter wrist. It fluctuates at the moment a bit depending on whether I'm on a feeding frenzy again and some Kinder Schokolade chocolate bars I have to stuff into myself or not. That's why it differs a little bit different. But yes, it does look. So it's a great watch. You could also call it Batman now, black dial, blue bezel. Why not? Now I wish you in any case a lot of fun with the unboxing. So, let's move on to the unboxing. Here's a nice warranty booklet, dark green, nice thick cardboard, great paper, COSC certification, international warranty card, 2 years and then another year, if the watch has the T10 manufacture caliber or is a chronometer, so a total of 3 years guarantee on this watch.
Und dann nochmal ein Jahr, wenn die Uhr das T10 Manufakturkaliber hat oder ein Chronometer ist. Also insgesamt 3 Jahre Garantie auf diese Uhr.
The COSC certification, on the back the certificate, and here the instruction manual, short and crisp. Everything available, really nicely done, I like it very much, great paper structure. I hope you can see it. Very good, I like it. Let's move on to the TITONI package. Everyone who knows the Seascoper 600 already knows, and the video of me also knows this unboxing of this package, because it is the same. Out comes the wooden box with the beautiful metal plate, which I think is really cool. Nice and cool, the screws are all point in the same direction again, last time I found pretty great last time too. And here we have the good piece, beautifully packaged, TITONI in the lid. There he always puts out of focus here, well. That was the unboxing. The first impression is really great, I must say, I like it very, very much. TITONI has now gone the distance here, that they wanted to make the clock a bit cheaper than their flagship, the Seascoper 600, which is available from 2.910 Swiss francs for sale.
2910 Schweizer Franken zu kaufen gibt. Und bei dieser
And with this watch we are so interesting in terms of price, I'll show you later.
das zeige ich euch später. Aber der erste Eindruck ist
But the
wirklich
first impression is really very valuable. Beautiful steel bracelet, blue bezel, black dial, beautiful with the second hand and the red end and the lettering Seascoper 300.
mit dem roten Ende und dem Schriftzug Seascoper 300.
I really like it.
Wirklich sehr gut. Seascoper am Handgelenk.
Seascoper on the wrist.
Ja, tolle Uhr.
Yes, great watch.
Uhr.
Classic diver's watch, beautiful stainless steel, wears really nicely.
Trägt sich wirklich sehr schön. Man sieht hier auch das große Band. Ich krieg
You can also see the big band here.
rein.
I get 3, probably 4 fingers in, that I could jam in here.
Zur 600er
Compared to the 600, of course, a bit heavier, but also much cheaper, because the housing is made of stainless steel.
und 300 Meter Tauchtiefe.
And a diving depth of 300 meters I think should be enough for everyone.
Macht sie auf jeden Fall wirklich eine sehr
On the wrist,
gute
it really does cut a fine figure on the wrist.
völlig normal bei ihr.
You notice the weight a bit, but that's perfectly normal for stainless steel. What do you think of them on my arm?
Eine Bauhöhe
We have 42 millimeters diameter here and a total height of 12.5 millimeters.
Maße und die Uhr passt sich auch wirklich sehr, sehr harmonisch.
These are really very harmonious dimensions and the watch also fits really very harmonious to my 19.5 centimeters wrist, whereas this morning was a bit more than 19 again.
Ist doch ein bisschen
Maybe I will now a little bit now. Let's see.
was die Uhr zu jedem
In any case, the watch goes to every dress, in my opinion. That means with a shirt, jacket, polo, wetsuit.
ihr euch nur noch die passende
You only have to
Farbe
choose
aussuchen
the right color and off you go.
Das
The case
Gehäuse
is typical for divers' watches.
typisch. Wie bereits
As already mentioned, 42 millimeters in diameter.
Man sieht
You
hier
can
sehr
see the
schön,
protection of the crown so that you don't bump into
dass
anything.
man nirgendwo aneckt. 300 Meter Wassertiefe.
300 m water depth is the order of the day. Helium valve does not exist, is not to be expected at this price.
Ist bei dem Preis jetzt aber auch nicht zu erwarten. Sehr schön.
Very nice watch, in my opinion.
Was sagt ihr denn?
What do you say?
Ist das eure Farbe?
Is that your color, black and blue?
Blau? Das
The watch
Bild
glass
besteht
is
aus
made of
Saphir.
sapphire.
Was soll man da auch anderes
What else
erwarten?
could you expect?
Beidseitig
Anti-reflective coating on both sides, so you can read it even better, even when diving, like in the evening when you are out and about.
Ich habe auch immer hier das
I also
Gefühl,
always have the
dass
feeling here I want to reach into the dial,
wenn man
because you think there's no watch glass.
verbaut. Sehr geil.
Very cool effect. I like it.
Das Zifferblatt
The dial is not
wird
reinvented.
nicht neu erfunden. Warum auch?
Why should it
Genauso
be?
muss eine typische
This is
Taucheruhr
exactly how a typical diver's watch should look like. Everything is there, date, beautiful second hand, easy to read, beautiful lettering, 3D logo of TITONI.
3D-Logo von
The lettering,
TITONI.
all this distinguishes the diver's watch.
All das zeichnet die Taucheruhr aus. Auch sehr harmonisch mit der.
Also very harmonious with the very flat bezel.
Kommen wir zu Lünette.
Let's move on to the bezel.
Rastet sehr sauber an,
Snaps
hat
in very
kein
cleanly,
Spiel.
has no play.
Es war auch nichts anderes zu erwarten.
Nothing else was to be expected, because the quality of TITONI is really very good. How everything is built in with the sapphire crystal, the bezel, the case.
Das Gehäuse ist einfach rundum eine
It is
perfekte
simply
Uhr.
all around a
Und
perfect
es muss
watch.
nicht zwingend immer
And it
die
doesn't always have to be the
600
600 for just under 3,000, but this one will also do.
Diese. Hier sehen wir schön das Armband.
Here we can see nicely the
Die
bracelet.
Variante besteht
This version is stainless steel with a folding clasp, very easy to open and close.
ganz einfach zu öffnen und zu schließen. Eine Tauchverlängerung oder
We have
ähnliches.
not installed a diving extension, we have not installed here. But see short video.
Feinjustierung.
Also a fine adjustment is not available.
Aber die Glieder sind
But the links are relatively narrow, so that you can adjust the watch to your wrist. For those who like it a bit more comfortable, simply reach for the fancy textile straps. There are plenty of them to choose from, or the beautiful rubber strap, which I also like very much. I have not tested either on this watch. I only have the watch with the steel strap, which also really very well together. Yes, very nice. I like it. What do you say? Do you prefer textile or stainless steel or rather rubber? Let us now have a look at the current brochure of TITONI, the Seascoper 300 and its colors. Here we already see the first two, all green and all blue. Very nice to see here, the black version with the blue bezel, as I have it, beautiful on the rubber. Fits great too, I think. The NATO band, the hashtag TIDE band, also goes mega with the colors here. Here the red is nice, like here the lettering and the second hand. It all looks very cool. And here in all blue, blue dial and blue bezel, beautiful on the steel. Makes a really good impression. If I were you, I would in any case get the two tapes as well, depending on what you get for a watch, for a variant dash, but that way you always have the perfect choice in the drawer. Looks really great. Here again a few more specifications. Superluminova BWG9 is also included. Here I show you another photo. I had already shown it at the beginning in the trailer. This is really a very good lumen. Then we see the black version here. I also find it very nice with the orange, and here the NATO band, the hashtag TIDE strap and rubber strap, and on the steel is a bit more restrained. Here is the COSC certification. Here is the link again. I also include the following in the description. You are welcome to read through it again, what this is all about. Here the green version I also find really great. I wouldn't know which I would find better. Here, however, I would find it good if here perhaps have a similar band as with the blue one, that you have a green line in here, that this is the way it goes through here. But otherwise the also looks really good. I also find it very beautiful, I like it. Green has been such a trendy trend color since 2 years almost. And here we see an overview of all of them, except mine shown here. There the reference number is in the description, which is missing here in the middle. Otherwise you can see here the prices here, super exciting, starting at €1,500 and at the steel just 1.615 dash. You can also see the reference numbers, the individual ones. If there are any questions, feel free to ask. Which watch and with which variant, with which bracelet is your favorite? I would be really very interested. Here are a few more key facts. Here are the tapes again, rubber, hashtag TIDE from recycled ocean plastic. Very cool idea. Are also very strong, very stiff. So it's not as floppy as a NATO, but really very firm, really very good. Price in conclusion, the Seascoper 300 costs €1.615. If you buy it at NATO or at rubber pays only €1,500 and €1,550 respectively. If you can do without some details here and there like the helium valve or the 600-meter diving depth instead of 300 meters and the sell it at 200-1, the preference given to the which is also COSC certified, it is also a chronometer, a certified one, who should reach for this watch.
zertifiziert ist. Es ist eben auch ein Chronometer, ein zertifizierter. Der sollte zu dieser Uhr greifen.
If you want to have it high-end, go for the 600, which is relatively still very cheap.
600er, die verhältnismäßig immer noch sehr günstig ist.
If you look at watches in this price segment, you will quickly realize the TITONI here, for what they offer, a really great price-performance ratio. I really have to say that. 3 years manufacturer's warranty, that's something. I hope you enjoyed it again, and I hope I was able to make the watch palatable to you. Because what is offered here in terms of price is really very, very, very good, you really have to say so. Look at them again here on the arm. Very nice watch. Love to leave a subscription, with the little bell, so you get all the info as soon as there is a new video. Link to the TITONIs all at the bottom of the description. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I can clarify this directly with TITONI if we have not shown or explained. Otherwise, I wish you a nice day, nice evening. Until then, until the next video. Take care. Bye.